Good evening, welcome everyone and all to ERL tonight for round number 7. And tonight we are at the United States venue in America, which is based in Austin, Texas. Of course, the United States is based in America. That's a very obvious thing to say. Anyway, just in case, actually, give it a sec. Didn't realise I was in a thingy-majiggy. There we go. That's a lot better. So yeah, as I say, we're now obviously going to go racing at the United States Grand Prix circuit of Austin, Texas, based in America, of course, in North America. I believe it's actually closer to the south, to be fair. We've got one-shot qualifying and then a sprint to come your way, so not really too sure how to follow the one-shot. We'll just try and follow whoever's leading. So into turn 1, looks like Neil is right now ahead, but having said that, Charlie Harris soon jumps to the top. So we'll follow Charlie just for this first sector, see how he gets on. Man's Not Bob goes to the top now. So, yeah, Man's Not Bob at the moment on the top of the times. Over Neil claimed fastest sector, but not for long. Man's Not Bob just comes back at him. So out of the exit of, I believe, turn 10 or 11, and down the long back straight, DRS wide open for the Aston Martin driver. Obviously taken a number of poles already this season. He has only converted, though, I believe, one win, however, and that was Silverstone a couple of races ago. So can he get pole here today? A similar track actually to Silverstone, you'd have to say, in some of its features, especially that first sector in particular, very similar to Silverstone, especially the middle sector. Anyway, through the final couple of corners, I do think it is going to be Man's Not Bob then on pole position here for the for this United States race 1 for the sprint, and it is Man's Not Bob. Pole position goes to Bob then, takes first place from the rest of the grid, and not sure what the gap was. Gap was 1/10 then there, with Appledorn a further half thousandths behind 50 thousandths. Then Neil in 4th, Einkid 5th, 6th is Tom, 7th then is Top Calf Loggers, 8th Neil, Nigel, then it's Mufasa in 9th. Dandan is 10th, so decent, well, not a great qualifying from him, usually one of the top lads. Shippo is in 11th, then Brian 12th. 13th, we've got Robbo. 14th, we've got LCC. Then 16th, we've got, 16th? 15th, we've got Lucky Egg. 17th, FCS and Shade. 18th, we've got Elliot. 19th, we've got then St. Power. And 20th, we've got then Piano Drum. I'm not sure why it's saying 16th instead of 15th. Should be, though, that way. Don't know if anyone else sees that. But, yeah, unless there's a driver not counted for in them standings, I'm not really too sure. Anyway, we now move into the main race, and I believe the sprint is an 11 lap race or something, maybe an 8 lap race, so it's not too long of the event. We haven't got here for the sprint, at least, as we will go into that. And yeah, basically with the race for sprint, extra points on grabs. So yeah, definitely some extra points up for grabs here then for our drivers. Whilst we've got this mini pause in the action, I am going to quickly, hopefully, run through the driver standings and the constructors. So driver standings, oh no, we're not going to have time. So I'm just going to cut back to this. So it is then lights out and away we go. A bit of a pause there, but nonetheless the drivers are rolling. and into the first corner. Then they go up the hill, then into turn one. Has Man's Not Bob covered off the inside? Yes, he has. Gets that nicely done. Charlie Harris and Appledorm side by side. Appledorm takes evasive action going off the track, but remains in third place. Doesn't lose any positions to Iron Kid or Neil behind him in then fourth and fifth. Tom right now having a bit of a look at then Neil on the inside. Then there, but in the end doesn't get the move done. So pretty much not much movement between the top cars. However, Robbo up a number of places already, up then into 8th, and maybe go up into then the top 7 here if he gets this move done. On top car Flogger, they're still side by side as they go down the straight into turn 12, but I believe Robbo's just got ahead and pulled nicely ahead of then his rival there. Mufasa remains in 9th, so no change for him on this first lap as we see Shippo right now looking at being overtaken by Dan Dan. Dan Dan holds on to 10th place then and doesn't move up any positions himself, as Shippo looking almost like he was going to go down the inside there for a second, but in the end couldn't quite get the move done. Nagel down 4 positions, and FCS and Shade down up 3. Elliott also up 3. I believe some of these were on a qualifying bans, so hence they are up the positions you see them, as we see then Brian down 5, but he's about to, I think, tick off a position there just to hold on to 17th then there. Anyway, back to the leaders then. So Man's Not Bob currently is your race leader, picking up those extra points right now in the sprint, which are going to be well, helpful at least after what was a very disappointing race last time out in Singapore, not finishing, having that DNF unexpectedly, and certainly wouldn't have helped his championship chances. But if he can just gain back a few points here, nonetheless, it'll be a little bit of a confidence boost as they'll also go into the main race. But have to say, Appledorm looking very close to Charlie Harris. Is a move coming on the Sauber driver. Charlie Harris goes to the left side, and Charlie Harris turned defence into attack very nicely there. Takes away then the race lead. Is Man's Not Bob going to come back at him around the outside? Potentially no, but he is going to come back at him into this part of the track and up the inside. Gets a move back on then the Sauber driver, and Charlie Harris back down to 2nd. Iron Kid right now in 4th. Neil still 5th. Tom is still 6th. But right now battle for 7th also on the cards here, as Iron Kid picks up a 3-second time penalty for multiple track infringements, and that's a very early penalty to be gaining on lap 2 of the race effectively. So certainly plenty of time to pick up more, as Nagel becomes the 2nd driver, then to pick up 3 seconds, and then we see both Sauber and Bob driving side by side into turn 1. Gave each other room, Bob didn't force his rival off the track like you sometimes see there between drivers. Sometimes the driver maybe on the inside just have a little bit of understeer and ends up forcing the driver wide on the outside. Very common in that sort of corner. Same with turn 12 as well, or sometimes you might do it on purpose. Not really too sure whether or not you would do it on purpose, but well, could do it. Depends how hard you're fighting for the position, I suppose. The only thing, do risk issue there. Anyway, again, Appledorm looking a lot closer to the back of Charlie than Charlie is to Bob, but we know what happened last time. Charlie went down the inside of Bob and took the position away, as Neil takes position away from Iron Kid. So Iron Kid now down to then 6th. Tom also on the hot heels and in hot pursuit, as Top Car Flogger makes a moving out up into 7th again. So he's back past the Williams driver. Can he pull away? Obviously does need to break out a 1 second advantage if you don't want the car behind getting the DRS, and he hasn't quite done that on this lap, as we see Robbo go again very wide there. So certainly probably dicing with track limits now. One more probably strike like that and he will be picking up a 3-second violation. Now that's probably a bit of a crumb of comfort to obviously Top Car Flogger leaves his rival room. Both of them side by side up into turn 1. In the end, Robbo still behind by the time we get through turn 1, but following closely as he goes wide again, and this time very wide and deep. And now, is he going to lose that 1 second advantage? So only lost quite a lot of time already through the S's section, which is not going to help him back down the back straight as he slips further and further outside the slipstream effect at least. So, well, is he under threat from Dan? Potentially so. Let's see as he gets a good exit out of that turn 11. Let's see if he can maybe get past the Haas driver. He is going to get past the Haas driver. Clearly not running a lot of downforce as we see Dan also going down the inside at turn 12. Dan in the end doesn't manage to get the pass done, and Dan has to remain behind then Top Car Flogger for now in 9th then. So good battle for 8th and 9th going on here. We've got a really good battle actually. As Appledorn has taken the lead of the race, by the way, so Haas doing a brilliant job still at trying to extend their championship lead in both standings, in the drivers and in the constructors. As the last time out, it was a very good result for for the championship leaders, especially for the likes of Appledorn and for Top Car Flogger. But Appledorn's actually spun. So Appledorn down into 6th. Now, did he get spun or did he spin on his own? I don't know. We weren't quite watching the action up there. Just know someone was making a pass on him, and we can see him there facing the wrong way, and is obviously, was facing the wrong way, lost number of positions. He's still actually within touching distance of the race leaders, effectively, so it's not race over yet. Still time to recover from there, but still not going to help him. So Neil now up to 2nd. Bob has broken out that 1 second advantage, but soon just coming back down within that 1 second again. So whether Neil can get back within that 1 second distance be very crucial for the remainder of this race, as Top Car Flogger has now once again passed then Robbo, but this time he has got a better chance of breaking out that 1 second. It is now over 1 second to be precise. It's 1.1 as we go through these few final corners. Is he going to keep it within that second range? Very critical for Robbo if he can, and I think he has. So he is going to get DRS at least down this straight, which is certainly going to help him in the defensive structure against then the McLaren behind. But is he going to be close enough to hold on to that DRS through the next part of the lap? That's the bigger challenge, I suppose, for Robbo. Still 7/10 trailing. Let's see if he can or he can't. Top Car Flogger trying to break out that second gap. If he can, this lap be very helpful. Right now it's only 6/10 as they go up the hill. So Robbo's had an excellent first sector of the lap, but again, middle sector not quite there in the end. 7/10 behind going down this straight. Also, Robbo picks up a 3 second penalty, bit wide for Robbo, but he is close enough to get the pass done, and I think we might see the pass get done. Also, further up the road, we're going to see another pass get done, at least on then Appledorn, getting the move for P5 there, up into then 5th ahead of Tom. Also, Robbo gets the move done on the other Haas and takes position away. So one Haas going forward, the other Haas moving once again in the backwards direction in terms of everything at the moment. So, yeah, ultimately, where can Appledorn finish this race? I think he would probably like if he can get back onto the podium. Maybe if Charlie can get up into 2nd, finish where they started. As we see then, Appledorn going again for the move. Up now into 4th, picking them off one by one. Obviously, Appledorn doesn't have also a time penalty. Ironkid does. 3 seconds he's currently holding on himself. So through then the middle sector, or third sector, sorry, There you go. And yeah, Appledorn does look like he's got good pace in his car. Obviously, I wouldn't even be shocked if he could still maybe pull out a surprised victory from here. Because Charlie, very slow. And Charlie, did he try to DRS trick him? Now, did Charlie get that one done properly? Did he DRS trick him? I'm not sure. I think he might have done. And he did. So, Charlie got the DRS on then Appledorn. A bit of a cunning move. Does he use it? No. By the looks of it, I think that was the right thing to do. There, just out of respect for obviously himself. I do wonder whether maybe there was a collision between them and he's willingly given up that position, actually putting two and two together. That could make a bit of sense, because damage for Charlie Harris. Also didn't use the DRS, just let Appledorn through, almost maybe like a bit of a apology. I'm sorry for what happened. I could kind of see that, you know. Charlie is that type of driver to, you know, do that sort of thing. You know, isn't, you know, that type of driver that wouldn't do that. So, yeah. Good on Charlie there, if that is the case. Very sportsman-like. As we see Top Car Flogger go up the inside of Robbo. Gives each other room. Doesn't force Robbo any further wide than he needed to. And unfortunately doesn't get the move done there. So for Top Car Flogger, stays behind for now. How's FCS and Shade getting on? He's, I think, just had a spin. Was ghosted there as we win with him. And yeah, not having a brilliant race. Piano Jam also struggling for a bit of pace out there too. So, lap then, what lap we on? Oh, LCC spun, got also a bit of wing damage. Not sure if there was a bit of an incident between maybe Mufasa and LCC. Mufasa, unfortunately, going backwards in this race, down to 19th, so definitely not his race today. As Dandan looking to make the move then, and this very critical for Dandan's race. Getting up into 7th place if he can make that move, and he does, and up into the top 7 for the McLaren driver. Very unusual though to see Dandan, the other McLaren driver, and contact between Robbo and then Top Car Flogger. Top Car Flogger goes into the side. Does he have damage? Nothing visible at least, but you never know. Just because nothing visible on the car doesn't mean that there is no damage at all on the car. So Appledorn trying to chase down Neil right now. Neil looking like maybe just got a bit too much pace in his drive at the moment, and holding on nicely to what would be then 2nd place at least in the race, in the sprint. So how is this going to finish right now? I think Tom might get up ahead of Iron Kid. Also, Dandan's picked up a penalty, so that could be crucial for Top Car Vlogger. So all he needs to do is really stick within 3 seconds of the two ahead of him, and he should manage to hold then on to a 7th place at least. Further behind, we've also got a bit of a battle going on for 10th right now. Lucky Egg leading that charge. Then it is then Elliot then with the DRS. Lucky Egg moves to the left-hand side of the track, trying to break the toe as he got enough pace down the straight to keep then the RB driver behind. Unfortunately not. The RB driver of Elliot swoops around the outside and takes 10th place off then Lucky Egg, and Lucky Egg now outside the top 10. But Elliot does have a penalty, probably 3 seconds that is. I'm going to quickly check as we go on to the last lap. So yeah, 3 seconds for most. Got a few actually, well, got 1 on 6 of FCS and Shade. So that's going to maybe drop him down. But, well, we'll drop him down behind Piano Jam. Also, Brian's got 16 seconds, but shouldn't really affect his race outcome, only unless he gets past Mufasa, which I don't think is looking very likely at the moment. Anyway, on to the final lap then. So, Manzanon Bob is going to at least convert the first race from pole into a win, and is going to take the sprint victory here. However, the battle for second has closed up just ever so slightly. Appledorn just now within that 1 second that he needs to be. Can he get past? 8 tenths back, 9 tenths back on this straight as they go down it. Is he close enough? Has he got enough straight line pace in the Haas car to get the move done? Unfortunately for him, he's going to run out of straight, but does close up very much so to then obviously Neil. Ironkid goes for a move down the inside. Unfortunately, going to be a bit in what you call it, vain, I suppose, or a bit futile because it's not going to count, unfortunately for him, with the penalty he's got. So he is going to drop behind Tom, of course, but nonetheless. Anyway, going back to Man's Not Bob, it's going to be a sprint victory then today, at least. So that's 1 victory for him on the board. He's going to also gain a few points back on Appledorn, the championship leader. Man's Not Bob rounds the final corner and takes the sprint win. It's Neil second, third is Appledorn, fourth. It's going to be, obviously, Charlie Harris ahead of Tom, then Ironkid in 5th. Robbo and Dandan are going to get demoted down into 8th and 9th, behind then Top Car Flogger. Elliott, unfortunately, going to lose track position at least to Lucky Egg and Shippo. Haslingle comes home in 13th. 14th. Piano Jam in 13th. Then Hasnagel in 14th. 15th, FCS and Shade. St. Power crosses the line now in 16th. Ahead of Mafasa. Brian manages to take home then 18th. And in 19th, we have got then LLCC rounding out the final then position in this race. Unfortunately, it goes a bit wider there, but rounds the final corner now. There we go. Rounds the final corner now and crosses the line to take home the final finishing position in this sprint race. So that's been your sprint for today. Now we'll go for another one-shot qualifying and we'll do it all again for the main event and the main race. So going through the finishing order then, here we go. So Mantelot Bob takes the win by 2 seconds from from Neil, then Appledorn 3rd, 4th Charlie Harris, 5th is Tom, 6th is Ironkid, 7th is Top Car Flogger, 8th is then Robbo, 9th is Dandan. 10th we have Lucky Egg, Shippo in 11th, Elliot 12th, Piano Jam 13th, 14th has an Eagle, 15th we got FCS and Shade, 16th St. Power, 17th Mafasa, 18th Brian, and 19th is then LCC. So I didn't get the chance to earlier to go through the driver standings, but I will go through them now for that matter of fact. So the driver standings, currently it is Appledorn leading Dandan by 24 points. Of course, Dandan does need to probably have a better race overall. Then it is Man's Not Bob, 53 points now after his DNF in Singapore. So it's a very comfortable lead now starting to open up for then Appledorn with about, I believe, 6 rounds to go. So yeah, Appledorn is starting to open up that buffer, which is going to be so crucial for him. I believe we might be restarting the session anyway, who knows. I think we are, because everyone seems to be leaving. But yeah, Neil is currently sat 5th ahead of then Charlie Harris in... 4th ahead of Charlie Harris in 5th. So that is your current driver standings. In terms of the constructors, we have got Haas currently on top by 50 points ahead of McLaren. Then it is Aston Martin in 3rd, followed by 4th Kick Sauber. And both, by the way, Kick Sauber and Aston Martin right now tied on points. So very, very close between them two for 3rd place. And then we've got, obviously, Red Bull in 5th with 97. So that is your current constructors and drivers standings. Now, obviously, everyone has left, which I hope is part of the plan. Otherwise, something's gone wrong. But, yeah, right now I'm currently stuck here on my own. I'm just going to make sure we've left the session anyway now. So no point of being in that lobby. So I think we are just having a general restart. Yeah, we are. So general restart of the lobby as we wait for that. What can we do? I don't really want to do too much whilst we wait for obviously what you call it. I guess could show you all the cars. I mean, why not? So here is the Red Bull, in case you've never seen what a Red Bull looks like. There you go. Lovely, ain't she? The RB20. That's the W15, I believe it's called. You know, lovely little car. Here's the F1000, I think. Oh, we got invite now, so we can get back to the lobby. Cool, great.